Why don't we ask the expert on all things NIL? I don't know. That's probably awkward for Harris now that I said that. You know, what's up, my guy? How are you? Good to see you,
Hey,
Harris.
what's up, Monty? Good to see you, brother.
What would you do if somebody called your phone? They're like, "Hey, Harris, we've got a $1 million check. You just have to transfer to Poughkeepsie State." Like, what do
Yeah,
you
I'd
do with
say,
that phone
where do
call?
I sign? Yeah.
But did you hear this story? A Ute football player, we don't know who, and we don't know by who. A Ute football player was offered $1 million by an NIL group and turned it down. And then the AD, Mark Harlan, up at Utah, called the AD of that school. But does Wild West stuff like that impress you? Like when you hear about stories like that, what goes through your mind?
I think that's crazy, man. I also think, yeah, I mean, $1 million is a lot of money, man. So, I mean, I don't know. It has to, I mean, you got to think about their perspective too, probably. I mean, I don't know who that was. But I mean, maybe $1 million isn't even worth it, though, man. Like, for in
Mm-hmm.
all honesty, you're like, do I really want to go to that school and be awesome there? But you know what I mean, not really progress anywhere else. It's like, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. So, I mean, you have to kind of think about that too.
Well, and you're a BYU guy through and through, though. I mean, you've told us in the past that that's where you wanted to go. So $1 million to go play at USC or some other major program. I mean, that's probably not that impressive for a guy like you, I wouldn't think.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, like you think it's very tempting, but then when it comes down to it, you're like, I don't know, man. I think I'm actually just going to stay here. Even if
Yeah.
it's $1 million, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? So,
Well, and look at all this free pizza you're getting from Papa Murphy's coming on our show. What's $1 million when you're getting free pizza?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Pizza's the best.
Yo, dude. So how's things, man? Like, first of all, I haven't gotten to ask you about your little one in quite a while. Like, what is something that your baby's done recently where you're like, wow, that's is it a crawling thing? Is it like, what is happening with your child?
Oh, well, yeah. First off, he's freaking crazy. Just crawling everywhere, playing with everything. Can't sit still. Doesn't want to hug or snuggle at all. And he's the cutest little chunky kid. But it's the best. But he has this little walker thing, and he's getting super good at walk. I'm sure he's going to walk here pretty soon. So we've been training him pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does it amaze you? Because I remember when my kid was young. Now he's sitting here. He's 29 years old. But I remember I have vivid memories of looking my kid in the face and being like, A, please don't let me kill you by like rolling over on you. And B, what are you thinking? Like, what is like, I always wonder what's going through that kid's mind.
Oh, it's so true. It's weird, dude. It's weird seeing him grow up. Like now he grabs his baba and drinks it himself. I'm like that. When he first did that, I was like, that is the craziest thing. Like he's learning so good.
And you just said the words Baba. So I feel like that means you're a true father.
Yeah. You know how it goes.
I love it. I don't love the outcome of the Arkansas game. So let me ask you, how are you guys doing? What's the mood around the team these days?
We're pretty pissed, man. We're pretty pissed, and we're grinding pretty hard here to make sure nothing like that happens again, man. Because these last two losses have sucked, and they've been a little bit preventable. So that's all you can say, and you can continue to learn and continue to grow. But at the same time, we're tying it down, man. We're pissed. We're ready to go. So.
You know, it's interesting you say that because about being preventable, because that's exactly what I said on Monday. Like, I feel like this is 2 weeks in a row where I'm tired of hearing about, oh, BYU got out athleted, BYU got run by. Arkansas and Notre Dame are always going to have athletes, but it doesn't excuse the fact that I feel like you guys were in position to make plays. I feel like you guys were in position to win those games. Is that a harder pill to swallow than if they were just twice as good at footballing as you are? I would think you could take that a little more than you guys made some mistakes that prevented you from winning those games.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. In no way have I personally felt like they're, this incredible athlete that we just can't hang with at all. I've never felt like that.
No.
And I don't think our team felt like that at all either. It's just we made a lot of mistakes that we really shouldn't have. And now we're paying for it, man. It sucks.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about Kalani specifically because I've known Kalani for a while. I've covered him for many years, and there have been some moments in press conferences where he's sitting in front of cameras. Like there was a water bottle slam a few weeks ago. there is like real live frustration in that guy's face. And I understand it. Like, he is not somebody who handles losing well, and I don't think he's used to losing. And by the way, I say that it's not like you guys are having some terrible, awful, worst season ever.
Yeah.
But, like, it's these 2 losses. He looks like he's wearing it. What is your general impression playing for him now? Like, how is Kalani? How is he? How are his mood? What is his spirit like these days?
No, I mean, it's positive, but it's also accountability, and we're passionate, man. I mean, we want to win. We're competitive. We're competitive as crap, and so when we lose, we feel it, man, and we feel like anybody else, and we want to correct it, and we want to win. You know what I mean? Like, we're not here to mess around. So.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, it's a little bit of that, but also it's good learning as well. Whenever you feel like that, you have to learn and to still be positive after you feel what you feel, and then you move on and you keep working at it. So,
but I also think, Harris, this is not a football team that aspires to win 6 games so we can go to the Pool and Weed Eater Bowl. I mean, you guys have aspirations beyond being bowl eligible. This is a team that's gotten accustomed to winning 10 games, right? I mean, it's interesting, the perspective in that it's not like you guys are having a terrible season. Do we make too much, and do we put out too much doom and gloom about where you guys sit?
I mean, our goal is to win every game, and I think it's very obtainable. The rest of the season, we could have a great season, go out 9-3 or something like that. So, but yeah, you're right. No, I think it's tough. They're tough losses, and we made some mistakes, and it's true. And we could have won those games, absolutely, for sure. But at some point, do you need to turn the page? Yeah, and that goes for everybody. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
when that is, decide what it is. But yeah, I'd say that.
Harris LaChance joins us every Wednesday. Thanks to our friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Accountability has been an interesting word. And I wonder, as a football player, like, we hear about accountability, and I think it's one of those words that we all love to throw around. But when you talk about accountability in football, as players, I think it's really important that you guys communicate and you hold each other accountable, because, again, we talked about this last week, but you guys, coaches can put you in a position, but you guys have to execute. So when you talk about accountability in whether it's just the O-line room or as players, do you feel like you guys have a good level of accountability between player to player?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of us we're older guys anyways. Most of us are seniors that are out there playing most of the reps. And so we know how to do that. We know if we screwed up too, like, that's on us, and we need to. And, and if I had a teammate who did something wrong, yeah, that sucks. And I'm going to be mad at you. But at the same time, after we figure it out, we're going to correct it and say, hey, I got your back. Here we go. Let's do it right this time.
But wait, that's important, though. It's okay to be upset that somebody made a mistake, right?
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
There's not, I feel like that's taboo or something. Like, we don't want to talk about that. It's football, man. Football is hard. Football hurts. It's going to test your character. It's going to test your mind. But do you not need those conversations? I think they're vital.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And yeah, don't get it twisted. Nobody over here is just like, just thinking of everything just lightly. You know what I mean? No, like, we're D1 athletes here. We're in this room on this team for a freaking reason. Because we are competitive and we are, hard nosed and things like that. So, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yep. Hey, before I let you go, let's talk about Liberty. Hugh Freeze, the head coach at Liberty, put out this video this week. And I got to tell you, I'm not much for hype videos, but it was a video of him standing in front of his team talking about how, hey, this is the biggest game we've ever had at home. Hotel rooms are sold out. Like, this is a big deal for Liberty. Like, is it, when you think about the scope of games, do you guys realize how important of an opponent you are to the school? Like, you guys are traveling to Virginia, you're going to Liberty. It's their biggest home game ever. Do you guys hear about that? Do you guys think about that at all?
I saw that video and I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that, we do us, and we prepare for every game the same way, and every game, our next game is our biggest game. And, that's how it's going to be. And I think I see that, and they're pumped to play us. And I think, hell yeah, let's go and have fun and get out there and get after them. You know what I mean? Let's have fun, bro. I'm pumped. They're pumped. Let's go.
That place is going to be a madhouse, I think. What does Liberty's defense look like on film to you guys?
They look good. A lot of guys that have high motors, try really hard. They played some decent teams, not nobody crazy, but no, I'm excited to play them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big game for you guys, and I think this is a real. I love games like this because when you guys face the adversity you faced, and not to be dramatic about it, but I really feel like this is where we're going to find out who you guys are. This is where we're going to find out what kind of football team and what kind of medal you guys have. Are you excited? I mean, I know it's a dumb question almost, but are you excited to play this game to find out who you are as a player and who this team is as a team?
Oh, dude, exactly. You're exactly right with the character and what he did face some adversity, and now it's like we go into this game thinking, well, let's lay it all on the line here, boys. Let's get back on track and kick some butt here.
Well, hey, good luck wrangling the baby. I love hearing you talk about your boy. I know that's such a point of pride for you because you light up when you do. But stay healthy at Liberty, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, Monty. You're a beast.
You bet. Good to see you, buddy. There he is, Harris LaChance. Love that conversation every week, guys. I can't say enough about that word accountability. I think we love to throw out buzzwords in sports, accountability, character. But when you hear him talk about the players being accountable to each other, it's not the coach's job necessarily to hold you to account for missing your assignment. If you miss an assignment, like on the offensive line specifically, like, hey, if that defensive end is there on the right and you're going to leave your running back isolated to hopefully pick up that block, that's your fault. And somebody in that room needs to tell you, hey, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think too many times bad football teams don't have that.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked to several players who have said, we have that. We talk to each other. And it's also really good to hear him talking about that they're pissed. They should be. Like one of the things I like about Harris is we don't just get there, well, you know what, that was last week. We're moved on from it. They're upset about those last two games. And what did he say?
Yeah.
We knew we should have won those games. We were in position. We made mistakes. We should have won those games.
The losses were preventable.
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
and I don't think you could have said it any better. I mean, and that's, we talked a ton about BYU yesterday. There's bots in the chat.
Chat. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
I think he's honest, and I really respect Harris for that. We are upset. The losses were preventable, but at the same time, we could still go 9-3, and we could still have a good season. And I think that now you're at a point where it's no longer good enough to lose games. Now your breathing room and your room for air is over. Now you got to go out and win.
Yeah, and I agree with Hullabilly. Harris saying that they're all D1 athletes and that everyone wants to compete was awesome to hear. And that's my point. I think so many people just think these guys want to go hang out at the frat. Harris is married. He's got a kid. Harris is playing for something more than just, hey, we need to beat this school on this day. He's playing for legacy. He's playing for a shot at the NFL. He's playing to get paid to take care of his family.
Yeah.
And that is not atypical at BYU. That is who they are.
Yeah.
So when you lose games against Arkansas that you should win, they could have not easily. They were in position to win that game. And the second half, they absolutely fell apart.
Yep.
And it's unexplainable. I agree. Boyd says, I love Harris. Such a good dude. Exactly right. It is, to me, it's just unthinkable.
Yeah.
Tom Basilius says, ask him about the D-line. Well, it's hard to ask him about his own D-line. The way that I prepare for these interviews is I am going to ask him questions that directly impact his play and his situation. We've asked him about the defense in the past, and he's right. He can't tell me about accountability on defense because he's not in their meeting rooms. He's not in their conversations. Football's a very cliquey sport. The O-linemen hang out together. The running backs and the O-linemen hang out together. Like, asking Harris to talk about his D-line is puts him in a position to give us a canned answer. And so that's why I don't ask him generally. You don't hear me ask him about his defense.
Yeah.
We ask him about offense. We ask him about the way they've graded out. Kalani Sitake, that's his head coach. We can ask him about that. Like, if offense, and we talked about this on Monday, if I'd have thought offense or play calling was a huge issue against Arkansas, we'd have asked him about it. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I do not think it was. I think the offense was the least of the problems against Arkansas. Defense was an issue. There is no doubt about that. You know, like it is, it is what it is. The fourth down fumble, where was the defender in the neutral zone? I don't know. That's interesting. Harris has his own worries and won't know what we want to know anyway about the D-line. There's not much he could say. And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the point.
It is out of character. It is uncouth, not the right thing to do on a football team as an O-lineman to call out your defensive lineman. He's not going to do that. He's not going to say, well, you know what? Actually, that D-line, they played like crap.
Yeah.
He's not going to do – you really think he's going to do that?
Start talking shit.
But to hear him talk about Kalani wearing it, Kalani's upset. Notice Harris is absolutely a politician. When he says, yeah, you know what? Kalani's wearing it. We're all feeling it.
Yeah.
As
you should be.
What did you say on that press conference the other day? This is a different Kalani Sitake.
Yeah.
Like Kalani's, you can when guys are asking him, Kalani the other day, about accountability, and Kalani says, well, I don't owe that to you. I agree he doesn't owe that to you, but you better damn well have accountability in that program, which is why I asked Harris about it when they lose.
Yeah, 100%.
And by the way, Harris saw the Hugh Freeze video. Did you guys see the video of Hugh Freeze? And I know we're short on time, but this video of Hugh Freeze, you want to hear power about BYU? Here's the impact that BYU has.
For those of you who are lucky enough, and I said lucky enough, for those of you who are lucky enough to play in this game Saturday night, you're getting ready to make history. It is, without a doubt, the biggest home football game this program's ever had. I came to this school for moments like this. You came to this school for moments like this. Every hotel in town is sold out. The stadium is sold out. You'll be on national TV. It is a big game. You don't approach it any different as far as preparation, but there's no hiding from this fact, and you are lucky and fortunate if you get to prepare to play in it. And I want you to embrace that, but at the same time, you must earn it.
Man, that is good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and Harris says, yeah, I saw that video. I thought it was awesome. It is awesome. That's what BYU brings to the yard.
Yeah, it was awesome, but we're still going to go kick their ass.
I mean, you're going to Liberty. Liberty is hosting BYU, who is now a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Liberty is hosting BYU, and it's the biggest home game they've ever had. Hugh Freeze came to Liberty to play games like this. He's playing BYU this week. That's the magnitude of BYU football right there. And that's not from me or an opinion. That's the head coach at Liberty saying, hey, this is the biggest home game we've ever had. All the hotels in town are sold out in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yep. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yep.
It's a big, big deal. All right, speaking of which, we got to roll. Thanks to all our friends at The Advocates, UtahAdvocates.com. Again, go see our guys at Barbecue Pit Stop. Use promo code Monty25. Hit up our boys at Quick Quack Car Wash. Always good to see them. When you go somewhere, please do us all a favor and make sure you say, hey, I heard about you on the Monty Show. That helps us out a lot. Right now, before you leave, give us a thumbs up. There's 109 people in this room. Give us a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys very much. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.